We will be free! For when the rising tide is turned in every London quarter, Parliament comes crashing down with Robert's Rules of Order!
Welcome back to the Cult of RONR, your daily devotional into the parliamentarian world of craziness. I'm Mike the Tie-Dye Guy, in tie-dye now.
In tie-dye.
And joining me is the slightly under the weather, pink flame of liberty, LNC Secretary Caryn Harlos.
Yeah, not feeling too well. But nothing a beer can't solve.
Beer solves everything except for one problem, a shortage of beer.
Yeah.
Well, actually, it solves that, too.
And he's staying for dinner, so don't worry about the driving.
Okay. Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. I'd say happy birthday to Abraham Lincoln, but...
And God said, let it rain.
I thought that was your head draining.
What is
cold.
that?
The bird's taking a bath?
For explanatory, if I keep this, I know this looks like a wonderful professional studio that has real concrete in the back. It's not, it's wallpaper. But we're actually
broadcasting from Caryn Ann's basement.
Yeah, from this little area I've carved out of the basement, which is, great, and my husband helped me, do all this, but because this is not a finished basement, you can hear everything. So there's actually people living here, and they walk, go figure, and use the bathroom, and
floors creak, and water runs, and birds squawk, and so it sounds like an occasional episode of Angry Birds the Stampede.
Yeah, sorry about that. We will be doing some soundproofing. All right, let's. You don't have to start again, right where you were talking about Abraham Lincoln.
Okay. Wednesday, February 12th, 2020. The birthday of Abraham Lincoln. We would wish him a happy birthday, but he was a racist tyrant.
And he's dead.
And he's dead anyway.
And he suspended habeas corpus.
He suspended habeas corpus, imposed an income tax, and frankly, destroyed federalism in favor of a national system, and here we are today. And
he didn't even really want to free the slaves, so I can't even give him that.
No. That's what happens when you're educated on the back of a coal shovel.
If he wanted to, if his motivation from the beginning was to free the slaves, I would have forgiven everything. Well, maybe. I'm not very forgiving, but I probably would have forgiven everything else.
For more information, please see the collected works of Thomas D. Lorenzo. Anyway, to the question of the day. Okay, this is about organizations and their existence. Boy, this is really obscure.
And it's not a Sunday one, is it?
No, this is a Wednesday one. 2 or more organizations each discontinue their independent existence and a new entity is formed which includes the membership of each organization in the case... Oh, this is easier than we thought.
Okay.
In the case of a what? A. Actually, I'm going to ask you this. Do you want to guess it without hearing the choices? You might get it.
Well, I'm not sure what kind of terminology they're using. So, I would say merger, but I don't know... Is that what it was?
No, not in this case.
Okay, so
but that was one of the choices.
Okay, no, so let me hear the choices.
Okay. A, dissolution. B, incorporation. C, consolidation. D, merger.
Well, what's the difference between a consolidation and... Say it again. It's actually... maybe it's just because I'm not feeling well, but that's really... I know it's not A or B.
Yeah. No, those don't make any sense. 2 or more organizations each discontinue their independent existence, and a new entity is formed, which includes the membership of each organization in the case of a A, dissolution, B, incorporation, C, consolidation, or D, merger.
I don't know the difference between merger and consolidation. I think what the distinction is that this new organization doesn't carry the name of any of the prior ones, but I still don't know what answer that would be.
Excuse me.
Consolidation sounds right, but so does merger. I'm going to say merger only because that was my first instinct. But it's probably consolidation.
It is consolidation, but I understand why you would say
yeah,
merger.
Yeah, because consolidation. Because you want to know the way I think of consolidation, and maybe it's just from my time in the corporate world. For instance, I work as in insurance defense, and in Florida with all the hurricanes, what the insurance companies do to limit their liability, they have a main corporation, but then they sell their windstorm policies through a sub corporation, so that if we get hit with a big loss, only that portion of the business has to go bankrupt and not the whole.
I need to have you look at my homeowner's policies out of Florida.
Well, listen, I read insurance policies for fun, just like Robert's. So if they then took that sub corporation and brought it back into the parent, to me, that's a consolidation. Mm-hmm. It's a consolidation of assets it already has. But let's see, what are the pages?
Okay, the pages itself are page 561.
Okie dokie.
Lines 31 through 35. I'll admit I cheated. I looked in advance and opened up already to that page. But that's just me.
Oh, that's actually a good idea.
Yeah.
Merger, consolidation, and dissolution. Okay, well, here's the heading I wanted. Distinction between merger and consolidation.
Ask and ye shall receive.
In cases where two existing societies wish to combine, there are two possible procedures, which are legally distinct. In the case of a merger, one of the two organizations continues while the other loses its independent identity and ceases to exist since it is merged, that is, absorbed into the former. I knew it had something to do with that, but I actually...
It sounds like United eating Continental Airlines.
But you want to know something? I'm almost tempted to go upstairs and get my Black's Law Dictionary, because they talk about legally... I could be wrong, but I don't think that's necessarily
read
true. Okay,
Read on.
I'm sorry. In the case of a consolidation, two or more organizations each discontinue their independent existence, and a new entity is formed that includes the membership of the consolidating organizations, continues their work, and assumes their assets and liabilities. I'm trying to find a way that I'll be able to keep this in mind, because I don't think a merger is always one absorbing the other. There are businesses all the time that merge and then create a new name, a new corporation.
Example?
Oh boy, I'm such a geek.
I'm putting you in the spot, but I'm curious.
No,
what you're thinking of here.
I'm such a geek that I watch, and I'll put it in the show notes. There's a YouTube channel that's all about corporations, and it talks about like the rise and fall of Blockbuster and things like that. I find it fascinating, and it had examples of this happening, and I think it was in Toys R Us, but I'm not sure. But okay. And I am going to want to look in Black's Law Dictionary. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to run upstairs, but I'm probably going to do a little aside that I'm going to stick in here to see what the Law Dictionary says.
Sure.
But yeah, I'm still not seeing it, but it could be that,
Because when I think of a merger, I think of things like airlines merging and becoming under one of the two companies.
That can happen.
Or the railroads, great example. Kmart and Sears.
Yeah. But it just seems to me, then what would you call my example of the sub-corporation? I guess, I would consider that a consolidation, but they would consider it a merger.
Well, the way they're defining a consolidation here, it sounds like, I'm going to use abstract terms, organization A and organization B come together and form new organization C, but A and B are dead.
Right.
Instead of taking, say, A or B under umbrella C and spinning it off somewhere, like what Sears did with Craftsman or Kenmore.
But I don't think that's always the case in a merger.
A merger, A absorbs B, but still stays A.
But I think it's also possible for A and B to, do the, bump the dirty bumps and beget C.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm making
That does-
pornographic jokes.
No, it's I'm
corporations.
thinking of railroads. I mean, think of how the
Yeah.
Burlington Northern merged with the Santa Fe, consolidated with the Santa Fe under, what's his face, Buffett. Did Buffett have that one? In any case, and while they have the BNSF, they took all their little short lines that they had separate underneath those two umbrellas and spun those off as a separate entity and sold them off separately. So go figure.
This is
The
strange.
railroads I understand a little bit just because of being a train geek.
This is really interesting. Well, okay. Continuing.
Yeah.
In either a merger or a consolidation, the resulting organization may be given a new name. I think this is where I should have read this before I started going off with my porn corporation jokes. Ah, here comes the rain again. Let it rain. It's raining men! No,
That's actually the toilet.
I know, but I can't think of any toilet songs.
I'm Tom Toilet, and we'll leave the lids up for you.
But really, are there any toilet songs?
I'd have to ask Dr. Demento that question. There probably is. With enough of stuff
It would be the one in which there's a Montegreen, and there's a bathroom on the right.
Don't go against the wall. Just take off down the hall. There's a bathroom on the right. Don't go on the floor. Just move on down 2 doors. There's a bathroom on the right.
Instead of there's a bad moon on the rise. All right. In either a merger or a consolidation, the resulting organization may be given a new name, which may include, for example, elements of the names of each combining organization.
Like
Okay,
JP Morgan Chase.
that's what I was thinking of. Now I get it, because I consider that when you change the name, I consider it a new organization.
Which would make sense.
So that's why I think this is very fuzzy.
Well, not only that, but the part here on the second page about the may be given a new name totally contradicts the bullet on a merger where one of the organizations loses identity and ceases to exist,
Since
while
it's
the other
merged.
continues. Well, if the others continue, but the other one ceases to exist and the other one continues, it still should have the same
Same
name.
name.
Yeah.
And the new name wouldn't have.
Yeah.
All right.
When Santa Fe Railroad merged with the Denver Rio Grande Western, Denver Rio Grande Western went away, but the Santa Fe remained. And then even when it consolidated with Burlington Northern to get the BNSF we have today, it's still what we have. By the way, I know this stuff because these trains go past my house about 20 times a day. But yeah, so that's why this is, I'm calling shitty questions.
Shitty question. But you do realize we are humongous geeks.
Yes.
Okay, just wanting you to know. All right.
All right. I remember to bring the gavel this time. We are adjourned for this edition of the Cult of RONR. Call the question, bitches. The question is, we are adjourned. The hell was that?
The sign of the cross. Or the sign of the Roberts.
No, you have to do it. They have to do it this way.
Yeah.
You gotta get that reverse R going thing here, like it's like an omega with it, with omega with
Yeah,
a
one
waist.
of these. Oh, how do you? So you go.
It's an omega with a
Okay,
waist.
so you go up, down.
Yeah.
We've got our cult symbol now. Wonderful. Alrighty, bye-bye.
Ironically enough.
Viva! Let's hear the opposition side. Like a stubborn donkey's bray. All opposed? You say nay. Opposed! Opposed! The motion carries anyway.